see, that's my dog. But fool, you know I'm really shiesty.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lance, back in another video. I hope you all are having a great day. You know, I'm out here in Minnesota. It's cold as hell. I just came outside from cleaning some snow, and shit pissed me off, bro. I got to get the fuck out of here immediately.
Really, nigga?
Expeditiously, however you want to call it. I'm trying to move to Atlanta, man. Atlanta, that's where I'm trying to go. Being in Minnesota, this shit just pissed me off every time I gotta clean this snow. As y'all can see from the title of the video, I want to talk about, you know, childhood trauma and all that. I really had no interest on making a video like this until a recent event that happened a couple of days ago with me that I thought, you know what, after I was going through it, I was like, you know, maybe I should make a YouTube video about it so I can help somebody else. So I know there's somebody out there that can relate. So, you know, why not talk about it? But, you know, childhood trauma, I think, is something that a lot of people have. A lot of people have dealt with a whole lot of stuff that I think they rather just kind of push to the side and just not worry about it and kind of move on with their life, not realizing that a lot of these things that happen to you are gonna affect you later on because you didn't deal with it back then. It's kind of like how, like, you have a problem, you want to nip it in the bud earlier so it doesn't end up becoming a huge problem. It's the same thing with trauma. And, you know, me being African American, you know, I don't like making shit about race all the time, but you know, the black community got a lot of trauma, whole lot of trauma. For y'all that don't watch Kevin Samuels, he's a relationship coach, I guess now, but he was always talking about in his videos that black people should, you know, go through therapy and stuff. And, you know, I think that's a good thing because everybody's gone through something. I think sometimes we feel like just dealing with it ourselves or being tough or just be a man or, you know, be a woman, wipe your tears and keep going, which is true. But if the problem really isn't solved at the root of it, it's going to continue to become a big thing. So I wanted to just kind of make this a little story time, and maybe somebody can relate to what I've been going through. Actually, I know somebody can relate to it. And, you know, comment down below if you have a similar experience, because I want to hear about it. I want to hear your side of I want to hear your story and what you got to say about it. But let's just get right into it. So ever since I was like 7, when I was 7, when I was 7, my parents got divorced. And as y'all know, divorces can be, you know, sometimes it's really cool when the parents are chill, you know, they just can, you know, shake hands, dap up, and everything is cool. But in my situation, it was a little bit different because mom and dad didn't really see eye to eye. They didn't really like each other like that. So it made it kind of difficult, you know, for me, because I'm the oldest child. I have a little sister. So it made things a little bit difficult for me because I was 7, I was in like 2nd grade or something. But I was still able to like understand what was going on. But you know, I ended up, you know, living with my mom for my whole life. I'm still living with her, but my whole life I've been living with her. And you know, me and my dad, the relationship wasn't really there. And it's something that I kind of had to really think about, because I talked to him a couple days ago, which I'm gonna get into later on in the story. But I started talking to him again after a while. I still haven't seen him in like 4 or 5 years. It's been a minute, bro. But yeah, my whole life with him, our relationship has kind of been strained. It's been strained, you know, and that's because of a lot of different things. It's a mix of, you know, him just not really wanting to be in my life. You can honestly say that. Him just not wanting to be there. And honestly, that's it. He just does not want to be in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I took time. At first, I was trying to take time to understand why it was happening, whether if I was to be blamed for anything like of the situation. But as I slowly thought about it, I was like, what am I blaming myself for? You know, this is between my mom and my dad. And, you know, you had a child or you had 2 kids with somebody, and then you just decided to, you know, forget about them and start a new family in another state. You know, that's what you decided to do. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I over the years, especially like middle school, yeah, elementary school, middle school, it used to really hurt me a lot, you know, because who doesn't want a dad? But, you know, as time progressed, like I was talking about in the beginning of the video, how people deal with trauma and stress, you kind of just push it to the side, you know? And I was pushing it to the side for the longest time. And I thought I did a pretty good job with it. I really was. Like, you know, I went through school, high school, all that, in certain scenarios that I would be in, whether it would be like maybe like a father-son event or something like that, and then my dad can't come, so I can't go. Or, you know, maybe my friends are talking about how their dads are like acting like this or doing that, and then I'm just sitting there like I can't input into the conversation, you know? So like little things, as time went on, it would slowly start to kind of make me feel some type of way about it. Graduated high school, went to college, all that, didn't really talk to him at all. Until a couple days ago, I was watching some Netflix shows. And it's crazy because Netflix is actually the reason why I even reached out to him, which is wild. But I was watching this show of this girl who also had like a tough relationship with her dad, and she hated him for so many years. And she didn't reach out to him ever. She didn't ever talk to him because she's like, you know, I don't like you, and it seems like you don't like me, so why even bother? When she finally wanted to go find her dad and get to know him all these years later as a grown adult, he passed away. And then she felt bad about it. And she was telling her friends that also had problems with their parents that they should go and, you know, try and mend the relationship as best they can. So when I saw that, I'm like, you know, I don't know if this is a sign from God or whatever it is. I'm like, hey, you know, I believe in signs. So I was like, maybe this is a sign. I should go say something and reach out. So I reached out, and it did not go out. It did not go how I thought it was gonna go. Because I don't want to get too detailed with it, because I don't want to dwell on it too much. I personally didn't even want to talk about it again, but I know that this video is gonna help somebody, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do it for them. I'm gonna do it for YouTube, and I'm gonna do it for that one person out there watching. Yeah, I was just asking him questions about, you know, my upbringing and why he didn't do certain things and why things happened the way it happened. And he got really defensive, and it ended up being a shouting match on me. He hung up, and you know, after it was done, what's crazy is I found myself like bawling. I was crying so hard because it was less about him, but it was more about me not wanting to be like him. It was more about me wanting to do better for myself and be a better man for my future kids and my wife that I'm gonna have. You know, I wanted to be the best man I could be. So I was just crying because I'm just thinking to myself, like, what if he was the same way? What if he wanted to do better for himself, but he didn't, you know? And he ended up following the same path as his father, because it's like a generational thing. Like, his dad did the same thing to him that he's doing to me, you know, not being in the child's life. It's the same thing. I wanted to make it my mission in life to better myself and put myself in a position where I'm never like that. I'm always around my kids to the point where my kids might be pissed off at me. I'm like a LeVar Ball type dad. I'm everywhere because I just wanted to be in my I just want to be in my kids' life so bad. So that's something that is so important to me. And to this day, I carry not necessarily the pain anymore, because with that situation, I was able to put everything in the past and kind of close that book now, because it's hard when somebody doesn't want to understand where you're coming from in any type of argument, whether not just in my situation, but in any situation. If somebody doesn't want to understand your side of the story, it's hard for you to get anything across. So you kind of have to just walk away. And for now, I just came to the conclusion that, you know, it's just not the right time. It's just not meant to be. If time later on in my life, I'm only 20, so if times come up later on where, you know, the relationship can be mended, I'll be open to it. But as of right now, I'm gonna keep chilling, living my life how I was living it. My whole thing with this video is I want people to deal with their trauma. Like, it's so important, bro. It's really important to deal with whatever trauma you got, whether it's a parent or even a relationship with a significant other. Whatever it is, you got to deal with it. You have to deal with it. Find a way, whether that's therapy or somebody that you trust you can talk to about it. You got to deal with it. You really do, because if you don't, man, you're gonna end up hurting people that had nothing to do with the situation at all. And I don't want that for my life, and I don't want that for y'all. So you got to deal with it head on. Don't be afraid, man. Just you gotta be vulnerable and really go to the depth of that problem and really figure out what's bothering me, and stop pushing shit to the side, because it's just gonna keep coming back up. You may not even realize it until later on in life it comes and hits you in a way that you did not expect at all, and you weren't ready for it. So, you know, the video getting kind of long, but I'm gonna leave it there. But to that person out there that's watching this and feeling kind of hesitant to maybe reach out to that parent they haven't talked to in a while, or find ways to deal with it because they're afraid of reliving that pain. I know it's tough. That's part of the reason why I was also crying too, because I was just having flashbacks of moments where I was hurt along the way. But I'm glad it happened, because now I can move forward with my life fully, and I know that I'm headed in the right direction because I faced it head on. So I'm hoping whatever situation y'all in, it work out for the best, and that you can watch this video, you can gain some knowledge from it, and, you know, just some insight and some inspiration to better off yourselves. So I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.